This is Steve Hall down here in St. Augustine, Florida. We appreciate to have Jeff on the call tonight. I'll get into that a little bit further, but this is replacing our normal coaches call. But prior to introducing our life trainer and getting into how to own your own life, which we've been talking about all week, I'm going to have Charlie Amanecker, the guy who sponsored me, do a quick 30-minute infomercial on what this company's doing. Charlie, you there?
I am here. A 30-second announcement, and it's pretty important. I shared this with Sherman today. Kenny Olson, who's a diamond with our company, we become friends, and I do three-ways with him with golfers and stuff like that, and he helps me with real estate. And he sent me a note. He says, "You can't believe how many new distributors came in the last 2 days of May." He said, "We had 10,200 come in the last 2 days of May and 12 million in sales." So then I sent him another message back. Well, what do we do for the month of May? I don't know how many distributors came in for the month of May, but the sales were $45 million for the month of May. So that's a significant number to understand. And I think it's important. Steve can explain what he thinks it means, and then understand why we've got Jeff here to help us. So things are cooking. Good. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. We want to try to keep this about a half an hour. Obviously, you can see Charlie asked me my opinion. I think we're on a rocket ship. I appreciate Sherman also. He knew Jeff Romaldi prior to this. And to just get right into it, we're thankful to have Jeff helping us with the Zoom calls. I apologize for my problem I've had the last couple of weeks with my Zoom thing, but it doesn't pertain to me. It pertains to Jeff. Jeff is becoming a great friend. Sherman knew him for about 20 years. Jeff has also been in the networking industry part-time, full-time since 1995. He's built two very successful companies with thousands of people in it. He's had two personal mentors. We know them both, two icons, Don Taylor, which we're going to be kind of discussing tonight, and Bob Schmidt that I got to meet in our prior business. Jeff is going to teach us how to own your own life. What do you mean by that? I mean, I don't care if you're a business person, professional person, or you're working just a regular job or whatever. Most of us never have enough time or never have enough money to do what we want when we want. And he's going to answer some questions about the networking industry. It's kind of confusing, and we've got a simple system. Don Taylor, he'll tell you all about that. But it doesn't require selling, which I'm really, the more I look into this, I think, we've made millions of dollars in the industry. Well, we could have made so much more if we'd have just listened to what Don has done over the last 40-some years. And it doesn't take very little time, 5 to 10 hours a week. And if you could replace your present income or whatever in 12 to 24 months, and you could easily do that with this, and you're on a rocket ship, like what Charlie said. And just to turn it over to Jeff, this is Jeff Romaldi. Him and his wife live in Hansville, and right next to Hershey, Pennsylvania, which we all know about the chocolate bars and the Hershey Kitchen. So, Jeff, I appreciate you taking time. Sorry for the problem with the Zoom call, but I'll turn it over to you.
No worries. Thank you for the kind introduction. I appreciate it. And thank you for everybody for your time and attention tonight and jumping on the call. I'm going to do my best to make it worthwhile for you. Again, my name is Jeff Romaldi, and my basic topic tonight is just I want to teach you about the fastest way possible for you to build your network marketing organization. And I want to start by asking you a question. When you sponsor a new distributor, how much teaching time, how much training time does it usually take you to give them enough information until they can start sponsoring people? Can you give them enough information in an hour so they can start sponsoring? How about 2 to 3 days? How about 2 to 3 weeks? All right, most people are raising their hand saying, no, I usually don't see that happen. How many people on this call have sponsored someone and 3 to 4 months goes by and they have never done anything? They haven't sponsored one person. All right. When I'm in a setting where people are in front of me and I can see them all, at least half of the hands get raised right there. And how would you guys and gals like to know why they haven't sponsored someone after 3 to 4 months? Anybody? Okay. Well, it's really so simple when you hear it. Okay. The reason why they haven't sponsored someone in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe never, is because nobody has taught them something that they can do. Okay. It's really that simple. I mean, it's one thing if you can do it, but if they can't do it, then your business, it comes to a standstill. It comes to a halt. And obviously, you don't want that to happen because network marketing is all about duplication. Okay. So, with the system that I'm going to teach you today, it's kind of like we can hand you the keys to the vehicle. You can get right in the vehicle, start sponsoring and building your business from day one. And while you're traveling down the road in your vehicle, you can learn all about that, your company, your products, your marketing plan, all that kind of stuff. See, the way most people do it when they join a company, it's as if they have to go up to the car, lift the hood up, all right, get inside the hood, rip the engine apart, put it all back together again before they actually start sponsoring and building a business. And that's why most people who get in, see at least half of their people or more, go out 3, 4, 5 months not sponsoring anybody because they think they have to know that stuff. Well, folks, you don't have to know that stuff. And that is like painfully slow. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So, so we don't do it that way. What we like to do, or what I like to do, is I like to talk to people about what it would be like if they could own their life. And the abbreviated version of that is just having time, money, and health at a time in your life when you can enjoy it the most with the people that you love. And if you think about it, most people don't even know one person who owns their life. Think of a young person, a millennial. Maybe they make a decent buck, $50,000, $80,000 a year. They got some money and they got their health, all right, but they don't have any time because they're working all the time. You get someone who's older, maybe a retiree. They have plenty of time, but their money is running out and their health is starting to go south. So it turns out to really be a simple question. It's like, how would you like to be able to have time, money, and health at a time in your life when you can enjoy it? Well, obviously, everybody wants that. But the question is, how can you do it? Well, can you do it with a job? Well, the fast answer is no. I mean, with a job, you got to commute to your job. Your boss owns you 8, 10 hours a day. You got to commute back from your job. Then you got your family obligations and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can't own your life with a job. All right. Well, what about a traditional business or a franchise? Well, they cost a lot of money. They take a lot of time. And even if you're very successful in those businesses, I mean, those businesses, they own you. I mean, you're working 10, 12, 14 hours a day. So, people say, okay, well, then what's the answer, Jeff? And I tell them right up front, because I know there's a lot of misconceptions about network marketing. Okay. I tell them right up front, the only way that the average person, the masses, is going to be able to own their life is if they learn how to build a network marketing company properly. All right. And but here's the problem. 100% of the people who are not involved in network marketing, they don't understand it. 80 to 90% of the people in it don't understand it. You would be absolutely amazed at how many company owners don't understand it. They start a network marketing company and they teach their people sales. Okay. And as soon as you start talking to someone first about a product or a service, they think you're trying to sell them something or get them to sell something. 95% of them run the other way because 95% of the whole world out there are non-sales types. They can't see themselves doing it. Okay. So it's a painfully slow way to build the business. And again, if you build it that way, most people just do not succeed. So, we're really in an industry here where the blind are leading the blind. And pretty much part of my mission anyway is to solve that problem because it's very, very easy to solve. And I think you're going to see that by the time that the seminar here is over today. So we don't do it that way. We don't lead with the product or the service. What we do is we call our approach the lifestyle approach. Okay. As opposed to the product or the service or the business opportunity first, we use the lifestyle approach. Okay. Now, why would we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. 95% of the people on earth, they want a better life. They want a nicer home. They want a nicer car. They want to spend more time with their family, whatever. There's thousands of things that people want. And we can show them how to do it in network marketing pretty simply, actually. The other 5% of the people, they already have a great life. We say that they want to live forever, so they make great customers, especially for someone with a great nutritional company like you guys have. So another thing about the lifestyle approach that makes it so appealing is it's just so simple to learn and it's so simple to teach. Okay, so what I'm going to say next, really pay attention to me closely here, because if you get what I'm going to say next, you you'll pretty much have it down. Okay, here's all we do with the lifestyle approach. It's just so simple. Okay, what we do is we talk to people about what they want, and if you can't talk or you're too shy to talk, we have what's called a lifestyle card. Okay, and we let the prospect read that to see if they want something. Okay, without desire you have nothing, so you got to find that out right up front. Okay, now if they want something, then what we do is we loan them a book, have them read the first 4 chapters. The book's called Own Your Life by Don and Nancy Fala. And when they read the first 4 chapters, okay, they will understand network marketing. And Don and Nancy, they coined the phrase long ago, that means that now they know how to drive. Okay, and obviously if you know how to drive, you need a vehicle to drive, so you just simply can send them over to your company website, have them watch some videos and learn all about your company, your products, and your marketing plan. Now folks, I just explained the whole business to you in about 30 seconds. Let me explain it to you in about 4 seconds. Okay, because if you can remember this, you're going to have it down. All right, all we do is we do this, we do that, and we send them to our company website. If that's all you ever do, all right, you can build as big a network marketing organization as you want. And by the way, folks, if you're talking more than that, you're talking too much, because the more you talk, the more people think they can't do what you're doing. And the more you talk, the more they think they don't have time to do what you're doing. And time is the number one excuse that people use to not do the business, and usually for good reason, because most people go over their house, spend an hour and a half telling them all about the company, the product, the marketing plan, blah, blah, blah. And that's just the turnoff for 95% of the world. And that's why most people do not make it in network marketing. This turns it all around. So again, if you keep it real simple, do this, do that, send them to your company website, your business will start to duplicate, all right, as you're going to see in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to read the card for you here, because this card is worth millions of dollars to a lot of you out there. So I want you to understand what's on it and the psychology behind it. On the top of the card, it says, "This is what I think it means to own your life." And then it takes about 45 seconds to read, to say this, but it only takes the prospect about 30 seconds to read it. Okay, so here's what it says. It says, when you subtract out the sleeping time, the working time, the commuting time, all the things that you have to do each and every day of your life, most people only have an hour or 2 a day to do what they want, and then they have the money to be able to do it. We've discovered a way where anybody can learn to own their life by building a home-based business. And we have a system to do it that's so simple. Anybody can do it. Doesn't require selling of any sort. And the best part is it won't take much of your time. Now, let's look at the psychology here, folks. The first paragraph, I mean, people read that. And if you start using the system, you're going to find they start kind of nodding like this after the first paragraph, because everybody knows that they don't own their life, at least according to the definition that we have here. All right. But then the last sentence here is probably the most powerful. It says, it doesn't require selling. That's the first part. Now, remember, 95% of the people are what? They are non-sales types. So they read the top, they want to own their life. I mean, who doesn't want to have time, money, and health at a time in their life when they can enjoy it? They want that, but they don't know how they're going to get it. They don't know how to sell. They hate selling. That'll never change for the non-sales type. So they read here, it doesn't require selling. So now they're going, hey, that's interesting. Maybe it's worth giving this one a look. All right, because not selling is like manna to heaven for the non-sales type's ears. Okay. And the last part of the sentence, it says it won't take much of your time. As I mentioned earlier, time's the number one excuse that people use not to get into your business. So I'd say, I never, statistically figured it out, but I'd say about 8 out of 10 people who I show this card to, let them read it, or I send it to them from the app, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. All right, gets back to me and they say, hey, tell me more. Okay. Now, do you realize, folks, that we just, in 30 seconds after they read this card, we just eliminated the 2 biggest objections in network marketing? I can't sell and I don't have the time. I mean, isn't that something? Right off the bat, they're like, tell me more. Okay. And everybody wants to own their life, so they're willing to hear the next step. Now, what's the next step in the system? It's the book. It's to make sure that they understand network marketing. Okay, and everybody who gets into a network marketing company, they always think that their vehicle is the hottest vehicle out there, right? And it may or it may not be, but I think you'd agree with me, a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, they're pretty hot vehicles, right? Would you guys and gals let your best friend take your brand new Ferrari or Lamborghini for a trip around the block if they never had learned how to drive before? Okay, well, I'm batting 100% on that one. I mean, nobody would let them do that. Okay, and the reason why is because they'd probably crash and burn their beautiful car. Well, that's what happens in network marketing most of the time. Person gets into the business, they get all excited about their company, their product, and their marketing plan. Go over to what could be their best 1, 2, or 3 prospects, spend 60 to 90 minutes with them, telling them all about it. Okay. And they approach them improperly because the way that prospect's thinking is like, oh my gosh, that's selling, and I can't, I don't have the time to do that kind of thing. They end up getting rejected in one form or another. And then that happens once or twice or 3 times max to a non-sales person. It's over. They quit the business, and it's very, very sad because it never needed to be that way. When people read the book, folks, okay, they understand network marketing and they love it, and they want to tell everybody about it because it takes all those monkeys off their back when they read this book. They learn it's a $200 billion industry, which is like 20 times bigger than the NFL. They learn it's been around for 80 years. The first couple pages talks about the pyramid objection that everybody is going to hear, almost always hear the pyramid garbage, right? Well, it talks about, how network marketing company has nothing to do with a pyramid. Pyramid's illegal. Talks about the difference between direct sales and network marketing. There's a big difference there, all right? Difference between mail order, difference between retail. So when someone reads the first 4 chapters of this book, they fall in love with network marketing. Now, as opposed to being like maybe embarrassed because they're not even sure they're in something that's legal, they want to tell everybody about it, just like they want to tell everybody about a great movie that they saw. Okay, so that's the book. Okay, that's the first 2 steps, the card and the book. Now, what do we got so far? Okay, if we bring a prospect in, going through, they read the card, they looked at the book. What do we got here? Well, we got someone who wants to own their life. All right, they know they don't have to sell. They know it's not going to take a lot of time. They've read the book, so they understand network marketing. They're all excited about talking to their friends about it. And then you send them over to your website, and particularly with your company, I mean, you guys have unbelievable products. They see that. They see, this is obviously other people, 45 million in 1 month. I mean, that's like beyond belief almost, and they see other people are buying these things. They're all excited. And guess what, folks? You got a system where an 8-year-old could teach another 8-year-old, do this, do that, send them your company website. What happens with most people, if the timing is right for them, is they get in and they start building a business from day one. Can you guys and gals start to see how by keeping it so simple, all right, with this system, do this, do that, send them to your website, that you can start growing really, really fast? Okay, so that's that. I mean, most people who get in this way, you guys and gals, you couldn't get them out of network marketing with the National Guard. Okay, let me give you a real life story about how this system actually works. I won't give you mine. I have 2 of them. I'll go right to Don and Nancy Fala. They wrote this book 35 years ago. Don and Nancy have been in network marketing since I think 1967, 1968. The last company they've been in for 24 years. Okay, and they started by sponsoring 4 people, one from Italy, another from Germany, Norway, and Sweden, I believe. Okay. And from those so they started with 4, all right? And since over the last 24 years, they brought in like 1.2 million people into their organization. And 95% of the 1 million plus people that came in their organization came from the original 4. Okay, now, does that answer the question whether or not you need to sponsor a lot of people to build a huge organization? Well, obviously, you don't. Okay, so 1 million people came in, over 323,000 of them, I think, I believe, maybe it's a little higher now, are on an auto ship where they're ordering each and every month. That's about 6 times the average company, by the way. The retention rate is huge when you bring them in using the system. All right, and here's and over between 600 and 700 people each and every day are joining Don and Nancy's downline organization. That's right, folks. Every day. Don called me up a couple days ago, said 1,147 people joined his business that day. All right. And over like the last 12 days, I think he said it was running at like 760 a day. So folks, there's no reason. I mean, that is a huge organization and you don't see very many of them like it. But if network marketing is done right with a system that an 8-year-old can teach another 8-year-old, do this, do that, so send them to your company website, folks, you're going to see businesses like that spring up left and right down the road, because there's going to be a lot more people involved in network marketing because we taught them something that they can do. This is going to revolutionize the industry. So now, no system is perfect, okay? I'm not here telling you like, hey, this is like absolute manna from heaven. It's the best system I've ever seen by far and the fastest to build. But, you did, in the old days, you did have to buy the cards, which cost some money. You had to buy the books. We used to teach people, get 5 to 10 books, keep them circulating. And then when you loan them out, you wouldn't always get them back for, 3 days, a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. So there was some lag time there. Sometimes you never got them back. So you had to buy more books. That cost you more money. If it was a long distance, a person that you were dealing with, you'd go to the post office, you'd have to pay the postage. You'd never get those books back. So it was a little bit time intensive and it was a little bit expensive, but it was well worth it because when people came in like that, they were just so excited. They went out there and they built a business starting from day one. But the problem has been solved now, folks, because Don and some friends of his teamed up and they built an app. And on this app, okay, from your smartphone, in about 10 seconds, you can send unlimited lifestyle cards out. So how many people do you want to find out if they want to own their life or not? How quickly do you want to grow? You go to the app, you send it out in 10 seconds. Also, you can send the book, the readable version, and the audible version of the book out from the app in about 10 seconds. Okay. And what's great about the audible version is that, with all people commuting and stuff these days, or maybe not right now with the coronavirus, but in general, all right, now they're in a car. Now anyone can learn how to own their life while they're commuting to and from their job. So it's really exciting. We just kind of speeded up the whole process by, it's going to be 10 times faster, 10 times more duplicatable, 10 times less expensive because you don't got to buy all the physical stuff anymore. And literally, it's going to revolutionize the industry. I really, truly believe, and Don knows it for a fact, that you're going to see people build organizations like Don's, which took 24 years, in like 2 to 5 years. Because now everything is speeded up. I mean, how fast do you want to send cards and books out? Okay. So that's that. Now, having said that, another thing that I want to tell you, last thing before I actually show you how the app works, is that when you use the system, okay, you have 100% of the people of the world to talk to, all the non-sales types out there. Before, most people were tripping over themselves trying to talk to salespeople all the time because they thought salespeople were going to make them rich. When historically, salespeople are probably the least likely to succeed in the industry for a very simple reason, because they sell. And 95% of the whole world can't see themselves doing that. So their business comes to a halt, and then the salesperson quits. And the other people say, well, if they quit, I can't do it. And they quit. So it doesn't work. Well, now you have, instead of the 5% of the sales types to talk to, you got the whole world to talk to. So you're going to sponsor 2, 3, 4 times as many people. And when people come in this way, because they want to own their life and they really, truly understand the business and they love it, they don't quit. Most of them. I mean, it's like you don't have to talk them into sticking with your business every 3 weeks, which is very exciting. So think about the math there, folks. 2, 3, 4 times as many people come in. Most of them stick around. You can, hopefully, you're starting to be able to see how amazing this system can be as far as getting started right away and building a huge business. So having said that, let's take a look at the app so I can show you how this thing works. Okay. Just going to share my screen. Everybody hear me okay still? Thumbs up, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Okay, can everybody see my screen? All right, in the middle of the screen, you see my Facebook app. Right below that is the app that I'm talking about. It's called Collateral. You just go ahead and you touch that. And there is, that's called the library area of the app. You notice on the top right, it says share with who you care about. I'm going to tap this, I'm going to tap that. And you see there's step 1 of the system to see if they want something. And there's step 2A, step 2B audio, and step 2B ebook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out the first step of the system, and I'm going to send it to me so I can show you how this works. You notice to the right of step 1 has that little arrow. You just go ahead and touch the arrow. Okay, and here's my list of contacts. And I'm going to send it to me. So I'm going to find my name, Jeff Romaldi. I'm going to tap on it. And you can see there's the step 1 platform. If you look at the bottom, everybody, you can email that, you can text it, you can send it by WhatsApp, you can send it by Facebook Messenger, you can also copy a link, okay? I'm gonna send it by text, so I just touch text. There's a little default message in there that I don't use, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And then at the bottom of the screen, you see copy and continue. So I'm just gonna touch that. And you'll see it's gonna take the link, it's gonna put it in my text box, and then I'm just going to send it. I would be sending this to a prospect, but again, I'm sending it to me so I can show you how this works. When I send it, there's the card, okay? Now, because on a Zoom call, a couple times when I touched the card and expanded it so you can read it, it froze the screen. So I'm not going to do that, but I already read you the card so you know what's on it, okay? So when someone touches that card, by the way, it's trackable and it lets you know that they're reading it. So what I usually say when I along with the card is I'll say something like, here's the information promised. You know, Charlie, have you ever thought what it would be like if you could own your life? ? Please read the card and let me know if you'd like to learn more. I'd say 8 out of 10 people get back to me and say, yeah, tell me more. So if they want to learn more, I just text them back and I say, hey, would you rather listen to some information that explains it, or would you rather read it? And let's just say that they get back and they say, I'd rather listen to it, maybe in their car or whatever, okay? I go back to the app, and of course, if they want to listen to it, I'm going to send them the audio. So you see, third one down, step 2B audio. There's the first 4 chapters, okay? That's all they need to know in the beginning to understand 95% of everything they need to know to build a large network marketing business from day one. So I want to send them over the audio, the little arrows to the right there, touch it. I'm going to go down to my name because I'm sending it to me. Okay, I'm going to hit the text at the bottom. Again, that little default, I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, go to the bottom, copy and continue. And there it is, it puts the link. Now, I won't do it now to save time, but typically what I said is, here's the information promised, you know, give it a listen, and please get back to me. Let me know if you want to hear the rest of the story, okay? You don't have to remember that. I have that all written down for you who start using the app, okay? So I'm going to send it. Now watch what happens. The audio version of the book gets sent. All right, I'm going to touch it now. After I touch it, I'm going to touch it again, and then watch the top of the screen. You're going to see it says Jeff Romaldi is listening to it. I'm going to leave it play for about 45 seconds, okay? See the little arrow? Now watch the top of the screen after I hit the arrow.
Preface. The 45-second presentation is all one needs to know to start building a large organization. In fact, if one cannot learn this presentation, they can read it to a friend or put it on a 3x5 card and let their friends read it for themselves. Beyond this presentation, you do not need to know anything. Once you realize this and understand, you can introduce your business to anyone, because absolutely anyone can build a business if they want to. All they really need is a little desire. Without desire, you have nothing. The secret to the system we teach is not to talk. Talking is your worst enemy. The more you talk, the more the prospect thinks they cannot do what you're doing. The more you talk, the more they think they don't have time. Remember, time is the #1 excuse people have for not getting started. After your friend reads.
Okay. Now, can you see, you know, when the non-sales types of person starts hearing this, saying they don't have to talk, doesn't take a lot of time and all that, can you see how excited that they get? Because they finally found a way that, hey, maybe I can actually own my life without having to sell. Very excited. Now, that's not the only thing on the app. Let me go back to the app. Okay. You got a 25-minute webinar on there by Don, sort of similar to the webinar that I'm doing here, but the legend, the master is doing it himself. Does a great job. You can see new card view. Someone just, one of my prospects just clicked on it and is going through the system. I probably listen to that webinar once a week. Okay. Every time I listen to Don, it just reminds me why I'm in this business. He does such a great job. Underneath it, we just put this in today. It says Nancy's Wisdom. his wife, Nancy, is awesome. She did a seminar for us a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be taking Don kind of talks from the head, just like me. Nancy talks from the heart. The combination is just unstoppable. So we're going to have Nancy in there doing videos and things like that. She's great. If you haven't ever heard her, you definitely want to listen to Nancy. Then we're going to be recording certain Zoom trainings that are going to be back there that'll reinforce the system. You get the entire book. See the 45-second presentation audio book on the right there? I bring that up. You can send out the first 4 chapters, but we actually give you all the chapters, as you can see right here, okay? Which is really handy. And they're broken down in little segments, like 2 to 5 minutes, most of them. So when you're driving in the car, you can listen to one segment at a time and learn how to own your life, every single day. You also get the 45-second presentation ebook. When I tap on that, the entire ebook comes out, all 124 pages, okay? So anyway, folks, this is the best kept secret in network marketing. This app is absolutely going to revolutionize the industry. I haven't used any other way to build a business in the last 20 years. I built 2 businesses into the thousands, one into the tens of thousands. Okay, you saw what Don does. It's $15 a month for the app. I mean, you talk about the best deal in network marketing history. This is it. Let me take this off here so I can see everybody. Open it up. I really believe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to see some of the biggest businesses ever built in network marketing history because of this app. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation. There's not much else. I'm glad to open it up to a Q&A if you want. Get back to the person who sent you the link if you want to sign up for the app, and go ahead and get signed up. If you have any trouble or so, just give us a call. In a minute or two, we'll make sure you're up and running so you can start building your business from day one using the app. Okay.
Real quick, here's my app. You probably can't see it, but when I was confused at first, it says business and personal. When somebody gets the app, they're not going to have any names. Like people saw the names on the left-hand side of your screen. So what you do is you tap personal, and then you hit search for the name of the people that you want to send it. Right. I just had to figure that out the hard way. So
yeah, and then it loads it in, and it's always loaded from that point on. Thanks, Charlie.
Right.
Yeah. You guys want to open it up for the Q&A?
Jeff, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Don told us a couple of weeks ago, before the COVID lockdown, he was bringing in 500 people a day. After the lockdown, after 3 months of the lockdown, he's now between 750 and 800 people a day.
Yeah.
It's simply astounding. And that's while everybody else was more or less out of business. His business is streaming along with no interruptions whatsoever.
Yeah, it's incredible. Now that everybody's at home, they're not working, 40% of the people out there lost their jobs. A lot of them aren't going to get it back. I mean, really, we have the best of all worlds here in network marketing now. We got the simplest system in the world. Do this, do that, send them to your website. We've got all these people out there that are going to be looking for a job. Most of them are non-sales type. A lot of them aren't going to find a job, and we are here. It's like, Bob Schmidt used to say, it's like the world is out there dying of thirst, and we're sitting here giving away water. I mean, I've never met anybody that doesn't want, or talked to anybody that doesn't want complete financial freedom. And really, we can help people get that. If they're just coachable and they treat it like a business with this little simple system, I mean, the sky is the absolute limit.
Jeff, I've been doing this for several years too, pretty successful. And like you said, Bob Smith used to say people are down on things they're not up on. And what I think is, just listen to Don Phelan a couple things. I had these tapes 20 years ago. The only sad part about the whole thing, I didn't follow the system. I worked hard, made tens of thousands of calls, traveled millions of miles, and made millions of dollars. But it had been so simple with this thing, because once people understand, because when you start talking, like you said, and that's going to be my hardest thing, is when you're talking about something, you get so excited. And if they don't like sales, they're turned off. And here, just 5 people consuming the product. It's not about selling, and they get 5, 25, 125, 625, 3,000. Start multiplying that by $100 or so of products that they're already purchasing anyway, and you're making tens of thousands of dollars, and you have the time to do what you want when you want. You will never, have that with a job. And one last thing, Don, before he got in this, he owned a restaurant at IHOP. He said for 4 years, he had 35 employees, 4 years, he had 3 days off. So even franchising, people realizing they just don't understand this industry.
No, they don't. And another thing is, it's important to understand too. Earlier, I said that, there's no perfect system. This is about as perfect as it gets. All right. But let's just say someone goes through the system or the first 2 steps, which is the card and the book. All right. And they'll almost always be so appreciative of that because they learned something that they had no idea, before. But sometimes it's a timing issue. Maybe their mother is, sick in the hospital or something's going on in their life where they can't do the business. But what happens is when you take them through this little simple system, you put a stone in their shoe. Okay. And what happens is that stone over time, it tends to grow. What can make that stone grow? Well, maybe they have a good job now making all the money that they want to make. 6 months from now, they lose that job, or maybe they, like I have a really chronic disability. I couldn't go to a regular job if I wanted to. I haven't been able to stand in one place for longer than 30 seconds without risking a spasm that drops me to the ground since 2007. I mean, I could not get a job if I wanted to. I couldn't do it. All right. But so the stone is in their shoe. Maybe their children or something are real good in sports and they can't go to the games anymore because they're always on their job. There's a million reasons why that stone grows. But when it grows, unlike when people try to sell people into the system and turn them off and become part of the no friends left, the NFL club anymore, it's not like that with this system, folks. Okay. I have people call me. Matter of fact, 3 days ago, a guy that I gave a card to 3 years ago called me. I sponsored 3 people in my business this week. One of them didn't even get to the 3rd step. They got through the first 2 steps and they're like, hey man, that is so cool. Whatever it is, I'm in. Now I did know them for a while, so they knew I wouldn't lead them down some, crazy trail or something, but still it was like they got into the business before they even saw the vehicle. So you'll be getting calls from people going like, hey, can you let me go through that system again? I just lost my job. It's a little bit different than it was 6 months ago or whatever. It's awesome. So you never have to worry about it makes no difference to me whether someone gets in my business or doesn't get in my business, or maybe they just want to become a customer. Great. We need customers. They add to the volume. That's fantastic. And a lot of people, when they go through the system, folks, when they come in as a customer, guess what? Those first 2 steps are in their brain and they're thinking, that's pretty cool. And if something changes in their life, a lot of those customers end up becoming distributors.
And it's more needed right now than any time ever in history.
Oh, without question, Phil. Without question.
And this is the rocket ship, Jeff, just like Charlie said earlier, to do that kind of business, for a company that's not even 3 years old to exceed 300 million in sales. You got an opportunity, or you can continue doing what you're doing. But to have time freedom together, and it doesn't happen for 99% of the people. So, Jeff, I appreciate your time and effort. Sorry for my confusion. Cindy and I was on here 2 to 3 different times this week with Zoom. I don't know what the problem is, but at least I got to talk on it anyway. So,
Real
thanks
quick,
again.
Steve
Any
found a
questions,
place
Charlie?
for cards. Yeah, Steve found a place, very reasonable prices for cards. I just got mine on Monday. I think it was less than a week delivery, 7 to 10 days or less.
Yeah. So if they get the cards and get them passed out, they're going to start building a business, and it's a beautiful
too.
card. Yeah. So did I. So did Violet. Quite a few. So
And
again, thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome. And thank
You're going
you.
to send out the recording for this.
Yeah, we have it recorded. I'll get it out to you. I hope I did an acceptable job for everybody. I did my best.
Great.
Always.
Jeff, again, you did a perfect job.
No, thank you, Phil.
Just so smooth.
I'm always here to help you guys. I want to see you succeed. And there's absolutely no one on this call that can't succeed in this business now. There's no reason anymore. And we're here to help you.
Thanks,
Cool.
Jeff.
You bet. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Great job.
Have a great night.
And
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night, guys.